Get your pencils, grab your paints, collect anything you consider art supplies. It's time for Art Smackdown, the game show that makes art the cutthroat competition God intended. This week's contestants are Best Artist in the World, Slaney Rose Jordan. Last week's audience champion, or 2 weeks ago's audience champion, the Lazy Swan. And this week's contender, you know her in the chat as Silent Squee, with celebrity guest judge Gregg, Vance, Emery, and your guest host tonight, Aubrey, Vora, Ross. Welcome, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back to the show. It's been a long couple of weeks since we've last seen all of you. Aubrey, Gregg, how are you guys doing today?
Pretty good, Mark. Thanks for asking.
Gregg,
yeah, I'm doing pretty well, Mom. Nice to see you here.
Yeah, with the bow tie. That cracks me up every single time. Gregg, this is your first time back on since you were a contestant on the show.
Yeah, it took me a couple months to recover from that loss, but yeah, thanks for bringing that up.
Well, I mean, it was one of those shows where I thought you had it in the bag, guaranteed, and you know, I forget who won, but it was someone who just had the right detail, another piece of great art that just floored the host. Anyone in the chat remember who it was?
Sparkle Dumpster. I mean, not that I'm bitter or angry. Okay. No, she's great.
Rematch.
Yeah.
And what have you been up to since you last been on the show?
Besides licking my wounds, I've been painting away. I'm an artist in residence down in Governor's Island here in New York, and I had some paintings up in Times Square. Some little things here and there.
Yeah. How did you have some paintings up in Times Square? How did that work?
Now's the part where I sound really obnoxious. The Belgian gallery I show with invited me to, and I think there were 20 of us maybe that had our artwork projected onto a 12,000 square foot billboard, and it was kind of surreal, especially because there was almost no one in Times Square. So no, there's a lot of people there now. But yeah, it was kind of wild. So that's kind of how we fell into it.
It was surreal for me to see, because a lot of people in the chat probably don't know. Gregg was the art teacher at my high school. Although I never took your art class. The only art I took was theater. But a lot of my friends were were all about your class and what they were learning in your class, and you're still friends with a good amount of them actually.
We're now fellow artists. We show together. We go to each other's shows. It's pretty cool.
It's so cool. Yeah. So this is sort of my way of experiencing your art class, even though I didn't get to experience it in high school. And Aubrey, Ross,
Hey.
not a contender tonight. Not in the chat. Helping me co-host. How have you been?
I've been doing pretty well. I do have a kink in my neck, so you might see occasionally me kind of making a strained face. That's what that's about. I'm sure I'm enjoying everything if I make one of those faces. Yeah, but other than that, doing great. Happy to be here. Nice to be here with you. Excited for your summer hosting adventures and to help kick them off.
Yeah. So just about the crick in your neck, that bow tie shimmy means that much more to me, knowing that the pain that you must be going through.
It was a sacrifice.
So for those in the chat who may not be aware, Micah is taking a much-needed couple months off. He may be in and out here and there, but for right now, he needed to take a step away. So I'm sure I talked to him yesterday. I know he's missing the show. If anyone wants to sort of send any thoughts or any sort of or any pieces of art that you may create, to let Micah know how much we miss him, send him to fartsmackdown@gmail.com. That's fartsmackdown with an F because Art Smackdown was already taken. But feel free to send emails, pieces of art, pieces of words of love and encouragement to Micah during his time off. So without further ado, let's introduce tonight's self-expression challenge.
Very excited for this, Mark. I have labored over this, and that is actually true. So I am giving you a quick challenge. I think 1 minute is really tough. So I will like try to drag out my explanation. I'll say it and then explain it like 4 times. So feel free to start. So here it is, the quick challenge. I kind of made it a July 4th theme, even though it's July 5th. When I was thinking about the mascot of the country, I say mascot because I think it's a lot more open-ended rather than animal. And that is, what is the mascot? Everybody know of the U.S.? Because I know we have at least one Australian person here.
It's the eagle, right?
The eagle, yeah. So the eagle, but also Ben Franklin really pushed for it to be the turkey. That's a fact. So your quick challenge is, what should it be? What should the American mascot be?
Yes, indeed.
Animal, you can expand that vision, but you have 1 minute starting 30 seconds ago. Go.
All right, yeah, you officially have about 40 seconds left.
And
So once you, I mean, I don't know. What would you have our national mascot be, Greg?
oh man, you know, I tried to think of it, and I got distracted by like weird college mascots like the narwhal. I just think we'd be a lot cooler nation if we had a cool mascot.
I totally agree.
Yeah, like, but then, you know, you get a lot of animals out there that are endangered or close to being endangered, so you probably don't want to pick one of those.
Well, or it might be a different routes. Like if you're looking to like honor and preserve, or if you're looking for an aspirational mascot,
Yeah.
It sounds like what you're talking. Something that you want to aspire to. as a
Art
country.
supplies down.
Mm.
Yeah, I was thinking about it the other day because I was asked the question. I forget where content. Oh, I was asked the question the other day. What Muppet, if I had the chance, like if I had to get rid of one Muppet, what would it be? And my answer, if I had to get rid of, if there's one Muppet, like non-Fraggle Rock, you know, initial canon, you know, of Muppets, and my answer was Sam the Eagle, because I just feel like it's too tied to patriotism in a way that I don't relate to anymore. So for me, yeah, like getting rid of the eagle mascot and updating it, I think is important.
Yeah.
Could he not just do with an attitude upgrade? Like, can he not just become woke Sam,
That's like
the eagle? He doesn't have to change the way he delivers any of his lines. He just has to change so they're more updated. Still do a deadpan.
yeah,
Give him the facts.
That is fair.
like woke Andy Griffith or something. Sam the Eagle character.
Yeah. So what would you do, Greg? What would be your mascot if you were to have us aspire to something?
I like to. My aspirational American mascot would be like the unicorn or something. So, just mess with everybody.
The unicorn.
The unicorn. The American unicorns, and then everybody would have to have them on everything in Walmart, and like I think it'd be a better place. So, yeah.
We were talking earlier about how you have a temptation to like dissect everything and find the meaning, and I had to like resist that temptation. I was like, oh yes, and the unicorn could represent this dream of the American dream, this reachable dream of the American dream.
Yeah, it would get twisted really bad.
Yeah, but it would be a nice goal to have work towards a country that could be represented genuinely by the unicorn.
Right, by something that doesn't exist.
Would there be a conflict of interest of making maybe like Kermit the Frog or even Gonzo just a weirdo? Our mascot.
Yeah,
weirdo?
I think they're so tied to like trademarks. Like, then I mean, we're already kind of owned by Disney.
Yeah.
Going down that road is rough. I don't know. Mickey Mouse is our mascot.
I ended up I was just like thinking and doodling when I ended up drawing a flag. A flag of a
White
flag.
flag.
So there'd be a flag, and then on the flag would be a picture of a flag in the ground, because I guess I was being like Americans, it's a place where like, all right, this is ours now. It's like kind of
was
like the
person
attitude.
holding the flag buried? That's the.
Yeah, it's like it's in the ground. It's been it's been planted.
That's pretty cool. It's a good flag.
Meta.
All right, let's get into these, and so the audience can meet our challengers or contenders. First up, let's see who we're gonna bring in first. Let's bring on the best artist in the world, Slaney Rose Jordan. You know her as Lady on the Rock in chat. How are you, Slaney?
Hi, I'm great. How are you?
So good. Now that we're doing the show again.
I know. Great to see you again.
What have you been up to since Art Smackdown took a break? How was your July 4th?
Oh, it was good. Yeah, I party hopped, which was scary, but you know, everyone was vaccinated, so I was just trying to be like, okay, it's okay. This is okay.
Yeah.
Right? While everything crumbles around.
How many parties did you go to?
Oh, just 2. They were all outside, you know, small gatherings, not big parties, but
It was a single hop.
just a single party hop.
Did you do that thing where like you sort of approach the place and you start to take out your mask and then you're like, what am I doing? Or did you or did you have it on?
I wore it in the elevator because I don't know, I'm still a little like, that's kind of contained air, and just out of respect if someone did want to get on and I was standing there without it, so I did that.
Fair enough.
But I only came across one elevator, so that was good.
Want to walk us through your self-expression challenge?
Yeah. Do you
I got
have
it up? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's coming up right there. It is, and that's amazing.
So I'm a little cynical and, you know, just a little negative Nancy over here as a not so proud American. So I've done a dumpster fire.
It's a total dumpster fire as representation, as the mascot of America.
Yeah. Faceless too.
I'm intrigued by the arms because the arms feel so expressive. What would this dumpster be saying?
Yeah. Hands up. don't shoot. It's all everything. It's all the discourse. Yeah, I think it represents us pretty well, honestly. At this point,
it's accurate. It's certainly fucking dead on balls accurate.
Dead on balls.
Dead on balls for sure.
Our chat is loving it. Oh, hi gamer Kyle. Kyle's saying hi. This is great. So all right. So knowing what you know about the show, in your experience of the show, what's your strategy going into today's competition?
Yeah, it's been, I mean, pretty consistently, like being in this position, it's nice to be able to talk about the art, and because usually after I've done it and I'm sending it to you, it's like way past due when I'm sending the description of like how I've, you know, what this all means and stuff. And so I'm just like, okay, I don't know. And also my phone like tends to just erase it if I switch in and out of my app, so I lose all the stuff the way that I send it on my phone. Anyway, it's, you know, it's a saving time is basically saving myself some frustration, I guess, of true expression.
Time efficiency for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, so happy to have you on the show. Excited to see what you do.
Yeah, thanks for having me back.
And yeah,
defending
we'll see you in a bit. Yeah, defending your title, which you've been holding on to for 3 whole weeks. How's that felt?
Yeah, it took you a while to find worthy competitors, right? That's what you.
Yeah,
yeah, I'm talking smack.
Talking smack to the host. That's a strategy in itself. Awesome. Well, good luck this evening, and I hope your strategy I hope it works out. See you in a bit.
Thank you. God bless America.
Indeed. Next we're gonna bring on the audience champion from a couple weeks ago, New to the show, Lazy Swan coming in from Australia.
Hi.
How
Hi.
how are you this morning? Is it officially the afternoon
Kind
now?
of lunch. Yeah, I think it's lunchtime. So yeah, no, good, really good, really good.
Um,
No 4th of July or anything like that. So
that's right. I guess a couple.
Mhm.
I guess these challenges are going to be potentially lost on you, but hopefully not.
Not really, because we watch so much US TV. It's fine, and we have our own. Like we have Australia Day, which is controversial in our country now. We're trying to change it from being Australia Day to Invasion Day, because essentially it's when the English came and killed all the Aboriginals. So not cool. So we don't think it's a good day to celebrate. The old people do. They get really pissy and they want to keep it going. They're just like, no, it's really important, and the royals are great, and we're just like, what is all this shit? We don't need it anymore. So yeah. So no, I do get it. But you guys are so patriotic. Like, I used to buy Martha Stewart like when I was like 17 and wanted to be a middle-aged woman, which I am now, and I'm not interested at all. But yeah, I'd still like the decorations and the flags and the cakes and all this shit, and yeah.
So when you were in your 20s, you wanted to be a middle-aged woman.
Oh God, yeah. Like the photos of me, I just go, what the fuck? Like, just like really. I mean, it could have been because it was like the early '90s, but super sensible clothes, like this, like really mum, like bob cut, and just stupid. Just not being me at all. Like, whereas now I'm 100% me. So
that's awesome. You grew in. So I have a couple of friends who have been in their 70s since they were teenagers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would never be. People go, oh, I'd love to be a teenager, or in my 20s or my 30s or my 40s, because I'm 50. But the thing is, I'm just like, nope. I don't want to be any of those ages again. No, never.
No,
No
you've
way.
done that.
Oh.
I have done that shit, and I do not want to do it again. I do not want to have little babies again. I love that my kids are in their 20s, and yeah. So, no, it's good. It's good, but yeah.
That's
nothing-
amazing. Well,
Yeah.
well, let's why don't you walk us through your self-expression challenge,
Oh,
which
shit,
is
yeah, where'd I put it?
go.
Okay.
I know you. Yeah, you
Just
you
so
sent
I
it.
can talk it.
Oh yeah,
Just
yeah.
so I
It's
can see.
it's up on it's up on Twitch right now, so we can
Yeah.
all see it. It's
Yeah.
I love the colors off the bat.
I think that's my biggest thing with the 1 minute challenge. I just always go with probably is my commercial head. I just go, how bold can I go quickly? So as soon as you said 4th of July, I was like, I'll just do some fireworks with the Poscas. And then when you said the animal, I was like, I don't fucking know. Like, and then I was like, I don't know. Like, and then I went, oh yeah, you guys are crazy about importing animals that should not be imported. So yeah, kind of started out as a groundhog, and then it turned into like a monkey. But yeah, like, because I know that like in Florida now there's monkeys wild, which shouldn't be there. So yeah, because we just don't do that. We've got our own cool animals. We just stick with those. But I think we've got a few things that got out early, like deers and boars and stuff. But essentially, we're not allowed to have any exotic animals here. Whereas I think it's mental the way you guys do.
Audio Gabriel in
Agreed.
the chat wants to know what's that magic looking paper you use, or is it just digital?
It's just black. It's just black card. Like just like instead of a white sketchbook, I just got a black sketchbook.
Like paint pens.
Yeah, and then Poscas. Yeah.
Oscars?
Posca? Do you guys like?
Is that a
Posca
brand?
paint? No, it's hang on a sec. A lot of like graffiti artists use it. One of my sons is a skateboarder, so he used to use them a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Like to do that, like the uni ones.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, so cool.
So just those. They come in good colours. They're a little bit addictive when you go to the stationery store.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like, wait, I need these, and then I can see my husband going, you have everything. You don't need.
Yeah, and they come in
anything
every
else."
color.
So it's just Posca.
I love how he's enamored with all the fireworks, because in New York it was like I don't know about you all, but it was like Fireworks 360.
Yeah.
Like pretty much, I think somebody
Right.
ran around New York and gave out high-end fireworks to everyone.
And see, we don't have them
Yeah.
here. They're illegal in Australia.
They're illegal here too, but they're still doing it.
See, we can't. There's like the weirdest thing is our state capital, like, is they're allowed to have everything, like porn, like they had everything. They had legal like sex work. Sorry, and one day of the year they're allowed to go and buy fireworks and do it. So a lot of people from like Victoria, where I live, try to go up and do it, but it never works. But around here, because this is like a holiday area, every Christmas you'll just be sitting watching TV or lying in bed and it'll just be like bang, 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 and everyone's just like, what the fuck? And then you're like, oh, okay, it's the obligatory I got 3 fireworks. Yeah.
Well, Lazy Swan, I think you're our first majorly, the international contender.
Oh, really?
I think so. Chat, tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's correct. And I love the fact that you're also like new to the show, because I feel like a lot of people who are new to the show, who don't have preconceived notions of how things are supposed to go, end up doing really well off the bat.
Yeah.
What is your strategy right now coming in to this competition?
Like today, it's really, I'm always just trying to work with, sorry, I'm a bit stuffed up,
Oh, it's all
snuffly.
right.
I just always try and just use something different. Like the first week, I just went really simple and just used a Sharpie and a highlighter, because I had no idea what I could do in 20 minutes. And I have to say, I get so anxious. I actually took like half a, like, I don't know, as Xanax is illegal here, but it's something like Xanax.
Xanax is I'm learning a lot of things are illegal in
Yeah.
Australia.
I know. So
Yeah,
if,
like we had it, and I used to actually take it, and then I started doing weird things like complete blackout. Like I used to eat a lot, and at night that I wasn't aware, like we'd wake up and the bed would be full of like pistachio shells. Or like one morning my husband woke up and I had like a cracker stuck to my face, like that, like literally just like stuck. Yeah, and just shit like that. But yeah, they made it illegal, and I was quite upset, but that's okay. But yeah, like super careful about everything. Like when I hear people talk about Benadryl, I don't know if it's still got the great thing in it, but they took it out here. So Benadryl's just boring cough syrup. You can't have Benadryl and feel really good. Like
Yeah. Or like Tussin, for that matter. I don't know if anyone else
Yeah,
Robo
yeah, all
tripped,
those
but
things.
that was
yeah.
I never did it at school, Greg. I never did it at school.
no, never. I was
Wanna be
on
clear.
Xanax all the time when I taught too.
Yeah.
So there's a lot going on in the chat. Apparently, you were wrong, Mark. Farrell is Canadian.
I know. Yeah. I guess I meant like in such a far out like time zone.
Different
where
hemisphere.
where
Yeah, try to go to Canada right now, Mark.
I would.
It's
I
pretty
love
far away
Canada.
for us.
I'm a quarter Canadian actually. My grandmother is from Winnipeg.
You can't go to Canada.
I
Right now.
can't.
Oh, really?
Impossible.
Hmm.
Well, Lazy Swan, again, super psyched that you're on the show. We
Thank
will come back to you very shortly and give you
If
the masterpiece.
you win, we may send you a box of Xanax and
Yes.
fireworks.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Look,
Yeah.
seriously, like
Yeah, I
the shit
can't
that we
pop
try
any-
and even like codeine, which I think is oxy, is in your country.
Yeah, I have a friend who always asks me to bring over ibuprofen because it's not like the same. Even like
Same
you can't get the same
mix.
dosing there.
Yeah,
you can't,
right.
You can't get the higher dosings
Okay.
for the
Yes.
stuff that you need on a regular basis.
So yeah, we used to go to France a bit, and we would like stockpile codeine just because we couldn't get it at home, and we'd be like, put some in the socks and put some in the shoes, put some in the kids' bags, and then the last time we went, they were like, no, you have to have it, and we were like, oh no, it's over, it's over. So I sound like I'm a druggie, but no,
Oh, no.
it's just if you need something, you know.
Well, we'll see you
So,
in a bit. We'll
All right, I'll mute out. Okay, see ya. Bye.
if there aren't a bunch of pistachio shells left on Lazy Swan's desk at the end of this competition, I'm gonna be very disappointed. We have the upstart contender. You know her in the chat, a silent squee. It's Lorian. Lorian Kruger, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing pretty good. I had a fairly relaxing fourth, and today, the fifth, I have off of work. Just had a couple of people over, watched a movie. It was more like a regular weekend than a holiday, but it was nice.
That sounds delightful.
Yeah.
Similarly, I had a very, very chill July 4th, and today was just sort of catching up on work and chilling out. But I love for you to walk us through your art.
So mascots are a little bit of a sore subject for me.
Ooh.
I was mascot in high school. So it's always hard for me to come up with something that isn't sad and depressing. My high school mascot they were the Rattlers, and the costume I wore was a old prospector man with a large beard and a rattlesnake wrapped around him. So the first time mascot came up in the prompt, I had flashbacks, and I was like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna draw? So I kind of went back to a couple of weeks ago. I took a road trip from where I live to Denver to go see a live show at Red Rocks. And I was thinking of all of the wildlife and things like that I saw along the way. And I'm like, okay, I saw a lot of cows, I saw a lot of horses, and they're out in the pasture, but they're not really free. They're there for a reason. There's somebody cultivating them for sale of or use of one or another. But what I saw a lot of were prairie dogs. Quite a few prairie dogs. And I feel like the prairie dog kind of embodies the feeling of many of us, not just people in the United States, but many of us right now, where we've been hunkered down for a while, and now we're kind of just sticking our head up, being like, "Is it safe?
Yes.
Is it safe?" And so, I was inspired by the prairie dog to be the new mascot.
I love it. Do you have a name for the prairie dog?
Not yet.
Right on. Can you flash it one more time? I want to get I think it's adorable. Aubrey, Gregg, what do you guys think? What are your thoughts?
I like the idea of the free prairie dog. I never thought of that before. And I like the drawing a lot.
Yeah, they go where they want to, when they want to.
That's awesome. And
even if it's your front yard.
They can be super social. They can hide.
Are we discussing all of them, or are we discussing just this last one? Yeah, being kind of quiet, I suppose. It also reminds me of a hamster, which I really enjoy. I have my little hamster who I'm sure I've woken up by now and is not pleased about it, hanging out in the back of my room. Mabel hanging out back there. And if she comes out, that's exactly how she perks up to get the survey of the land. And I also like the idea of a free hamster because, as I've learned, just so many people keep hamsters in far too small of an enclosure for how much energy they've got. So yeah, free hamster, free prairie dogs. That's what I want to see.
Well, and I apologize to bring up the latent mascot fear, but you brought up my latent mascot fear. My high school mascot was a shamrock.
Ooh.
And keep in mind, my high school was 52% Mohawk.
What? Really?
Okay.
And it was the shamrock.
So how do you dress up as a shamrock?
You had shamrocks around, and I don't think I ever met an Irish person in my high school.
Yeah, if that was the other 50%, I'd understand it. But
where did you go up? Where did you grow up, Gregg?
A couple miles south of the Canadian border. Right on the border, south of Montreal.
Oh wow! In New York State?
In New York State, yeah. It's the only reservation that straddles the border, though.
No way.
So it is its own nation. So what they call free trade, they could get you Xanax anytime you want.
That's fascinating. There was an Irish person around.
I guess, who founded the school or something. I don't know. Or they thought it'd be funny to make us all wear green and white, which I don't know. Green and white just, I don't think looks good on anyone. But
And my high school colors were also green and white, and I did not like it.
I know. No.
Mine were
So I never had to dress up like a mascot. So I apologize for that one. Hopefully we'll
It's
do better
okay.
on our
It's
challenge.
been long enough. I've gotten over it.
Dwight was blue and white, and then suddenly one year, I guess my sophomore year, they changed it to blue and gold. I want to
Yeah.
say, which was a very bizarre move. But we were the Bulldogs, so that was pretty literal. The translation.
How
of
gold
that.
was his gold? Was it like just the yellowish kind of tone, or did it sparkle?
It sparkled a little bit. Yeah.
Ooh.
The football uniforms, which I wore for
That's pretty exciting. It's an
2
upgrade.
weeks, were very nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Silent Squee, you've been in the seat before. What is your strategy, and or what advice do you have for the other contenders?
It's been a long time. I was on the show a couple of times right at the very beginning. It's been a long time. Things have changed quite a bit since I was on, but I would say just don't get too lost in the initial idea you come up with. It's always changeable, as we know with the compromise. You have to be flexible, and if something comes up, you have to be able to adapt to it.
Love it. That's
Very well said.
That's great advice. Well, Lauren, we are going to let you go for the moment and prepare for the Masterpiece Challenge, and we'll see you in a bit. We'll see you in a few. All right, now it's time for the Masterpiece Challenge, which I'm exceptionally excited about. It's well, Greg, I'll let you break it down.
Wait, I thought you were supposed to come up with it.
What, the Masterpiece?
Yeah. Oh no, I came up with it.
You
Okay.
did. Yeah, and it's fantastic.
I overthought this one too, but then changed it, adjusted it, and I'm kind of happy. So we'll see what happens. Gonna keep it simple. In the U.S., we've been talking about this a lot. I don't know about in Australia, but there's been a lot of talk in New York about the hot vac summer. Yeah, hot vaccination summer. If you don't know what that is, Mark, how would you describe that if somebody didn't know what that meant? We'll look in the chat.
What, hot vac summer?
What is hot vac summer?
I mean,
If I were to guess, like, what American summer movie? Didn't they take a break and go into town and get like a little
For an hour.
too wild? Yeah, for like an hour,
And
but
it
it
got
became
crazy.
like
Yeah.
the amount that they accomplished in that hour was quite impressive.
Yeah.
They were really determined.
Yeah.
I think that's what comes to mind. I've not heard this is the first time I've heard that phrase. But
Oh,
like,
really? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
well,
the first
yeah,
thing
well,
that comes to mind.
it's. I mean, it goes in line with the whole. You know, I'm waxed and I'm vaxxed and get used to it. That's not the same. But like, no, but it's like.
You're on the right track, though.
But like people,
The idea is that
people
you've
are
been,
down.
like, lodged down. You've been like cooped up, and
Yeah.
now you're ready to mingle. And ready
Yes.
to party. So my idea was, because I'm gonna stick with this sort of not really patriotic nationalistic theme, internationalistic theme, hot vac summer as Olympic sport. Again, hot vac summer as Olympic sport.
Oh my.
Indeed. And the clock starts now. So, hot vac. Yeah, I mean, hot vac summer. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've been married for 5 years.
I'm happily with my partner, but she even brought up the other day, like, hot vac summer. I mean, what does that sound like to you? And I'm like, terrible. Scary and terrible. But yeah, pretty happy.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's dangerous in the way that like when I was single, I'd be like very, very like horny for. Like I'd be very excited about the idea of like, oh, like now like in all the ways that like I could not interact with people and I'm pent up and like that now, like now I can go out and I can get it and like like everyone, like even just walking around Hoboken or walking around like the city, it's just like it's like people want to interact, people want to get out there.
Yeah. And people haven't been interacting. I don't know if you've seen this. You two have seen this, but people, I don't even know. Right now, as an example, I don't even know how to interact, like talk. And
Yeah.
people like haven't had real interactions for a long time. So, yeah, it's interesting.
I feel like such a party pooper. First of all, as an American, I'll just go. I've never been one to celebrate the 4th of July. And fireworks have always scared me, especially in California during fire season. I don't know what people are thinking. It's not worth any sort of the risk. But I also, this summer, like, I'm just having to, like, lean into the party pooper, like, identity for a little bit longer because I am single but not ready to mingle because I am still, like, auntie to two like toddlers who are stuck at home at least for another couple months. So we got to keep these houses safe little bubbles. So yeah, I'm not really taking any of those steps out, but I think I'm going to let other people do that first wave. I've been nervous about that. Yeah, but my dad's also been talking about going back to play soccer. He played like pickup games on the weekend. He's now in his late 60s, so I have feelings about that anyway. But like just the knowing how much pent up energy is going to go onto the fields. Yeah, I find myself just kind of wanting to take a step back and let the rush happen first. So it's kind of nice that I have toddlers that I can use as an excuse because I also I feel like more than anything, I want to go spend like a month in the woods by myself after all this because I've been babysitting every day. So yeah, it's going to be a cool back summer for me, I suppose. Or maybe a warm, and with a couple of warm backs moments, if I'm lucky. But yeah, I imagine it's going to be kind of like spring fever as I remember it from the high school days.
Yeah, well, I it's weird because on the other end of it too, like I've been seeing like friends of mine or people that I follow on Instagram, like people who have been like they've been having their hot vax summer. I mean, before they were vaxxed. Like all year, like people who were in Greece all year, and people who've been just in like the islands in Mexico the whole time, just like where at a point where I was like, where are these parties even happening? Like, where do you? I don't know. Yeah, I'm just mind blown of just like how people have been keeping active for the past year.
Yeah, and prioritizing. Like, I can understand if you have to keep active, but like prioritizing the parties, like. Americans especially, like they just can't stop partying.
Thank you for the raid, Blue Anju.
But as an Olympic sport, like I guess, if anyone were to make it a sport, Americans would be the ones to get competitive about it.
And be the best at it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So as an Olympic sport, like do you have any favorite sports? Yourself, or any favorite Olympic sports?
I'm excited to see skateboarding for the first time this year. Like I've been like, there's always something that I follow on Instagram that is just super guilty pleasure, and lately it's been longboard dancing. I don't know if you've seen this.
Is long like in water?
Skateboard.
Oh.
With it and like flip around and like jump over it, and it's beautiful, like mesmerizing.
Wow.
Yeah. So this is the first Olympics they're gonna have skateboarding. So I'm curious to see.
Are there any other new sports this Olympics round that we know of?
I don't know.
Look it up.
Well, I also know there's been a lot of controversy the last week with trans athletes being turned away, and oh my goodness, you had pot in your system after your mom died, so you're off the U.S. team.
It's
lots of stuff, but so we'll see.
Yeah, like I don't know. The past couple of Olympics, I haven't really been all that into it. Like I just sort of like it happens. I'm sorry. Oh, that's right. This is happening right now. But but like I've gotten more into like the World Cup than the Olympics. The past Aubrey, if like you and your dad go to the World Cup wherever it's happening, right? Or you have historically.
I have been very fortunate to attend a few World Cups. Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it is one of those things. Americans often are like, yeah, okay, who cares? But like, it's some people like will wait their entire lives to go see one World Cup game, maybe. So I'm very aware of how lucky I am to have gone, and it's like it's a very cool experience and way to see the world as well, because it brings like something that unites everyone around. And my dad's also a chameleon, so we have a lot of fun with that. No one can ever place where he's from. He's half Indian, but people think that he's Brazilian or Mexican, or like often people see him and go, "Oh, clearly Argentina fan is here," and he's like, "Sure, Argentina's a good game, like it's a good team, yeah." But like we're pretty boring family. We just like seeing a good game, so we're not like the ones to get like riled up for our teams like other Americans seem to like want from their sports. That's like, yeah, that's a missing thing over here.
Well, I also kind of thought of this theme because, again, I was overthinking it, but I heard this thing where they talk about the Olympic Village in the past, the Olympic Village being this hotbed of sex, and how many like boxes and crates of condoms they go through in the Olympic Village.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I wonder what it's going to be like this year.
Yeah, I mean they're gonna have their own hotback summer for sure.
Oh my god, yeah. I mean, it's I feel like regardless of like, yeah, I mean, it's gonna be nuts, and
well, it could be, or it could be delayed for them. Would it be like if it's this important to them, if they've been locked down and they know they want to make it to the Olympics, like many of them would probably have to remain in training through this point and saying no to the parties and having a party pooper summer like me until they get to their game. But after it's over, so like once we hit the autumn, then it's going to be like hot backs autumn,
right?
For all those sports people.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, the historically, the Olympic Village is just it's just a fuck fest. It's an absolute. Like, I mean, I talk about it as if I know, as if like, hey, you guys have never been to the Olympic Village. It's a fuck fest.
You watched a feed of the Olympics that I was not privy to.
Yeah,
I don't get that cable.
That they should do they should do like a Big Brother like Olympic Village.
Of the Olympics, yeah.
I would watch.
Well,
that.
I also know like there's some weird stuff to this Olympics because like I don't even follow baseball, but I met this guy the other night a few weeks ago, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to Japan." I'm like, "Okay," and he's big and like muscular, but like. I don't know. He doesn't necessarily look like an athlete. I know he's a big musician, tattoos everywhere. And he's like, I'm going to Japan. I'm like, oh, that's cool. The Olympics are there. Like, you should definitely check it out. And he's like, yeah. I'm like, how long are you going to be there? Like 6 weeks. I'm like, what? And he walks away. And my friend's like, yeah, he's a pitcher for Team Israel.
What?
I'm like, what? And he's pretty excited because apparently there's normally like 12 teams or something. And because of COVID and everything, there's only like 6 teams. So he's like, I have a pretty good shot of medal. Like, I'm like, that's kind of awesome. Maybe I'll watch baseball.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Is it bad that I wasn't even aware that baseball was an Olympic sport? Is that weird?
It's one of the more recent additions. It hasn't always been.
Oh, okay.
But there are new sports at Tokyo Olympics include karate, skateboarding, sport climbing, like rock climbing, surfing, and then sports returning to the Tokyo Olympics. Maybe like it left, and maybe that's why it's exciting. Baseball and softball looks like it is making a return.
Okay.
And that's it.
That's
the new stuff.
The closest I ever got to the Olympics, my uncle he's like my dad's best friend, like he's like that uncle, like not blood, but he trained the U.S. judo team for the Olympics back in like the mid to late 90s.
Wow. And
I remember it was like I was like particularly interested in it because he was this like super gruff, like not very like he didn't have a lot of varied speech. He was like, hey, you know that actor Hilary Wolf from the movie Home Alone? I trained her for she's an Olympic, she's a judo Olympian. Yeah, she's like one of the sisters in Home Alone.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, that's so cool. And like I went to school the next day. I was like, I know, like I was like bragging about how I kind of know, which I didn't knew Hilary Wolf because my uncle trained her.
Marka, I don't mean to interrupt, but it is time to compromise the vision.
Oh my God, you're right. It totally is. Time to compromise our art.
Might need an extra minute? No.
So, Gregg came up with a compromise that is so good. So, in lieu of the Wheel of Compromise, it's Gregg Emery's Wheel of Compromise.
The Gregg of
Are
Compromise.
you ready for the compromise? The compromise is this. I couldn't help. I brought it up. It was kind of a little foreshadowing of some of the controversial moments, not even controversial, kind of fucked up moments that have happened in the Olympics over the past week or so, of people getting banned for different reasons and messed up reasons. So your artwork now has to somehow be turned into, and it's your choice of where this goes, but it has to be turned into some kind of protest poster. It is now protest art.
So, Masterpiece Challenge, Hot Vax Summer is Olympic sport. Compromise is your piece of art has to be made into a protest poster.
I love how Squee was the one to say, don't get fixated on that first idea because then you're gonna have, and she looked wrecked. Like I've wrecked her twice. I feel real bad. So sending Xanax to Squee. Yeah, so,
Well, why don't we check out some of the audience submissions for the self-expression challenge?
yeah.
Awesome.
Okay. First one we got here is from Crowbot, previous best artist in the world.
Yep.
And this is the new mascot or is it a flag design? It was a mascot design.
Yes, the mascot design, and the caption just says, "It's a pig with a gun."
Wow.
Love it, and also accurate.
I know. It's very factual. It's just factual.
I recognize how weird this is to say, but it tickles me. I really love Crowbot's pig work. Crowbot's pig work is particularly fun. Maybe it's, I don't know, like whenever he makes Miss Piggy or whatever, but like it brings joy. It brings joy to my heart. This pig.
I mean, there could be so many captions for this drawing too, like bacon ?
Right?
Not on my watch. I don't know.
I love the
There's something-
snaggletooth too.
There's something about the eyes which tells me this pig does not know how to use the gun that it's holding.
It reminds me so much of someone who may have been on a lawn with a gun waving it, who's now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What was that video that went viral of that dude who or the couple that was like waving a gun or like waving a shotgun at people? Like that is what that looks like to me.
Oh yeah, totally.
Oh.
Same statements.
Baguette plays in the chat to call Portland PD,
Nice. Yeah.
which is great. Next one up is from Ryan Osmosis. I gotta flip this around. And I chose to do what it should be based on our current society, not what I think it should be. Fair. God save America. Big old dollar sign.
Yep.
I think something about, because there's the two lines in the middle, like at first glance, I just saw God shave America because I saw the H within the S as well. Like my brain just separated the two.
It's funny because I saw prison bars.
Yeah, I see that too.
Yeah. If God did shave America, where would the beard be?
Well, and where would he start?
Right.
Why are you assuming that it's shaving the face?
I know. Would we go toe to stern?
That's
Would we
fair.
Plenty of things we could shave.
just go across the middle? Like, what are we gonna do?
Yeah, I guess it'd just be shaving one big ass.
Yeah.
Next
Be a
up.
Brazilian. Like
Yeah.
Claudio Gabriel.
No, but that's not American. Brazilian.
This is from Frankenbabe. American Eagle. Obese, half-cooked, wraparound sunglasses.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh wow, that's a good one.
Like, to the point where, like, his wings is just like, there's no way he can get it around. It's like a really unfortunate belt.
He can't even get up. He can't even stand up.
No.
Yeah.
He's just put on the sunglasses and been like, I'm good.
Well, and this also is appropriate for America these days because this would be considered like a hot trend on TikTok. They love chonky animals, which is really just unhealthy animals.
Round boys?
It's like not chonky animals, like the big like round
boys.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, whatever you call them, it's something that like is, you know, people feel joy, and I admit they are cute when they waddle, but that's an unhealthy animal.
Yeah.
Please don't make your animals chunky.
My parent-in-laws, who talks like that? My in-laws have a cat named Margaret who's got to be at least 16, 17 pounds, and is just like I was trying to pet her, and she just like the rolling over. There was just so much that it just took her so much just to roll around, and even like when she meows, she just meow.
Yeah.
Meow.
Lazy meow.
Yeah, this eagle has perfectly functional wings, but has like lost the will to use them.
Absolutely. Oh, that's so good. Okay. Next one is from Chuberg. Oh, this one's fun. The caption. New mascot. This greedy nation is a bunch of piggies. Oink pink piggies. Cool notebook, right? Yeah. That is cool. Although
Like cool notebook is.
I guess it's
the truck page a notebook? Because it looks like a different kind of stuff. I'd be very impressed if they managed to draw that whole truck in 1 minute and the pig. So I'm wondering if the truck was already drawn on the paper.
I'm guessing that like every page.
The notebook is a blank truck page.
Awesome.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That's super cool.
I love that.
Yeah. It's for graffiti kids. He says.
Graffiti kids.
I
like how you wrote hotback supper as Olympic sport.
Whoops.
That changes the whole.
I want to see that. I hope someone was really literal and read the challenge.
I so hope we get some like
missions or supper.
Some food
Rapid
submissions.
spooning.
Oh man. If we don't get a Last Supper, now I'll be disappointed if we don't get like a Last Supper.
No, exactly.
Yeah, well, let's talk about that. So, like, we've talked about the hotback side of things, like the Olympic sport. How would you envision hotbacks as sport? Is this like, is it done as an individual? Are you competing in teams?
I think part of it was I couldn't imagine it, so I kind of want to throw it out to my fellow creatives and see what happens. I can't even imagine. I think, you know, I was thinking kind of Olympic Village. And like and maybe it's a Big Brother kind of thing, and but I did picture some kind of judging happening. Yeah, and protest-wise, I'm like, I don't know. Somebody doesn't even get to go to the Olympic Village this year, or like it can be super serious, or it can be super silly, or I don't know.
I feel like given the maybe cynical edge that some of our entrances seem to have, I also wonder if like there will be the person who just contracts the most STDs. It feels like that's probably going to happen if you're in the village, and that's already the tone of that place. This summer, people are going for some sort of record.
Gold medal.
I'm the Michael Phelps of STDs.
It'll probably not be the players who are playing that game, but their doctors who, after the season, will be able to like win for who comes in with the most things that they have to have treated.
Who's able to cure the most.
Art supplies down. Art supplies down. Please email your masterpieces to fartsmackdown@gmail.com. And we'll go through the last few self-expression challenges before we get into that. This is from Gamer Kyle. It's just spider with the American flag coming out of his ass. Poo SA.
Poo SA. Poo SA.
Well done.
And it's a spider.
Yes.
You would very easily be able to chant that at sports games and no one would know the difference.
No.
This one is from Feral HW. Not surprisingly, it's a loon.
Wait, you got to give that one. Pooh SA, we're number 2, baby. Nice job, Squiggles.
Oh, amazing. So we got a loon.
The loon who looks like
Is it?
like Predator.
Yeah, right?
That loon is secretly ferocious.
The caption for this one is, the American mascot should be a loon because we have eagles in Canada and you have loons in America.
Yeah, fair enough.
We have
Also
loons here?
accurate.
Fair enough.
All right, two more. This one is from Juice Fan. Juice Fan, who designed and created the shirt that I am wearing. Got it off of Redbubble. Some actual Art Smackdown merch, which I don't think is available on Redbubble anymore. Juice Fan, if I'm wrong. But I think I got it in right under the wire.
Wow.
This is
He says, no, it is.
Oh, it is. Great. Spaceship. Is there a caption? Nope. So it's a
Whoa.
the mascot is a spaceship. Is that just guns? Guns coming out
Guns.
every which way.
Looks like some money is also being shooting at the top,
Yeah.
and it's squirting oil, perhaps.
Yeah, and it feels
Are
like
his legs coming out of the sides?
Yes.
And his arms? Yeah.
well, it feels like it's falling. Like it's not going into space. It's like tumbling down.
It's an
It
oil
looks like it's
derrick
going to
for
explode. Is it not? Is it not going to be one of the other fireworks in the sky at one point?
Yeah.
the oil derrick is his penile unit.
Nice.
Oil derrick. No, that doesn't work.
Doesn't work now.
His eyes are just horrifying. All right, and the last one is from Philson Schmilson. Got some. There we go. All right. There we go. And the caption is, it's called Anxious Starships, because sometimes leaving the planet is the only choice. That is someone just zooming off this planet, just basically telling the rest of the survivors to go fuck themselves. They're on their own.
It kind of captures the essence of America.
It really does.
Yeah.
Well, during this time, we have, there have been people who prioritize that over our own planet. Like, let's go explore other places and see how far we can get away from this planet that we're actively destroying in order to do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. So those were the self-expression challenges. Now we're going to get into some masterpieces. First up, let's bring back our challenger, Silent Squee. How is this for you?
It was fine. I got a little bit stressed out when the compromise came in, despite my my advice earlier in the day. But luckily, I left myself enough room to transform my art into a protest sign. So I'm going to go ahead and reveal it here. So my initial idea
That's awesome.
was human beer pong. So the big thing that you see with people going out and partying now is just people get super drunk. So what we have here is human-sized beer pong. This is the size of a soccer field, and you've got these trebuchets on either side of the field that will launch the competitors into the other side of the field. And as you can see, the easier to hit larger red spots, those are the more alcoholic, and they get less alcoholic as you go towards the center because they get smaller and they're harder to hit. Now, my main problem was finding an objection to human beer pong, because this sounds like a lot of fun, right? Like, what could people actually be upset about with human beer pong? So I guess with those human beings flying through the air, and probably all of the yelling and screaming that happens involved in that, human beer pong probably scares birds. So that's the only reason I can think of to ban human beer pong. Human beer pong scares birds. Ban human beer pong.
Very nice. Can we ask a
I love
question?
it so much. Oh yeah, guys, go for it.
So in this sport, the people are being catapulted with their full bodies onto it. Are these cups, like in beer pong you're trying to fall into a cup? Are they pads? What are the red spots and yellow spots as you envision them in full scale?
Like, have you seen those competition shows where they have to go through a like a gauntlet or like an obstacle course, and it's all padded and like there's water underneath and things like that? So it's basically like one of those big padded foam swimming pools.
Okay.
So they would be shot into that, and then this looks like grass, but this is all like very thick foam padding. So if you miss, you're not going to hurt yourself.
Got it. So there may be people who miss and are therefore bodies like spread across the field.
Yeah. So since it's padded, they'll just kind of bounce off and be okay. And as you can see, I did give each of the competitors a helmet.
Nice.
So it's very, very safe.
And you mentioned alcohol. More alcohol. Is there alcohol in these pools that they're drinking when they go into them?
There's got to be alcohol in it. It's beer pong.
How long do you envision this game lasting?
the same as it does with beer pong, until one side finishes or until everybody's too drunk to continue.
All right. This is a serious sport.
Genius.
Olympic level sport. Olympic level drinking for sure.
I feel like legal has to say something like this, this is trademarked to the artist and of course to Art Smackdown, because someone's gonna see this and run with it.
Oh yeah, there's gonna be a TV show in like less than 6 months, and none of us are getting any kind of money out of that.
Yeah. That's pretty amazing.
That's incredible.
Nice.
Yeah, this seems like the new what is the sport that people do after work now? It's like golf or frisbee, ultimate golf, ultimate frisbee.
Yeah.
It feels like if you put an ultimate behind this, it'll be
ultimate beer pong. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then you have the adult soccer or kickball, adult kickball, which is just an excuse to go to the park and drink.
Yeah.
Although I don't understand why kickball did not become a legit sport. As someone who I had the big foot because I played soccer, so that was like one of the only things I was ever picked first for was kickball because I had the big foot that could just clear it out, and then all you had to do was run around in a circle. It was great, but it did not catch on as a sport for some reason. It seems like it would.
It's a fun time.
Amazing.
Well, this is incredible.
She's thrown down the gauntlet.
She has thrown. Yeah, the gauntlet has been thrown. Lauren,
the human beings have been thrown.
Yeah, absolutely.
Human beings.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We're gonna. Yeah. Yeah. This is amazing. We will check. We'll bring it back on in a few minutes.
Thank you.
God, this is awesome. All right. All right. Next up is the audience champion, Lazy Swan. Lazy Swan, how is this for you?
Seriously, I just shit myself because I was like, this is a lot of things. So I just kind of first up just went, okay, the Olympic rings, I got that. Something I can do with the Olympic rings. So I was like, I'll just do heads. And then I was like, okay, what are some things that I can come up with that are sports that, like, for the hot back summer that would go with it? So I did, like, the first one, the reds, like piggybacking, blue, ass grabbing, 3 was licking, green, I changed a bit, but it was freestyle breathing, and social drinking was the last one. And then the change, my computer actually just, like, locked up and I couldn't hear it, but I did hear the last bit that it was a protest, so I just made it all about licking and tried to add a few more things in. Just wrote, lick me, release the tongue, and I will lick you. So yeah, because I honestly, like, whenever we have multiple lockdowns and whenever it's back out there, I'm like, oh, too peoply. I do not want to go out there.
Too peoply.
Too peoply. Way too peoply. I went to Melbourne for the first time yesterday in like I reckon a year. It was like a year, and I was just, I mean, it was quiet, but I was just like, oh, get me out of here. Get me back to the country. Yeah.
This is, I mean, a lot of ours is layered, but this is multi-layered. I mean, just like with like the Olympic rings and just like, I mean, obviously everything in there is there's a purpose for it. I don't know, Greg, what do you think?
I love the layers. I love the ideas of the rings and the colors, and I definitely, I mean, I see through the chat everybody loving licking as an Olympic sport. But I definitely think we were talking earlier about the doctors will be the judges, because I think definitely at the end of this round, the doctors will have to sort this out. Yeah, winners and losers. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that you've incorporated. This feels like you've thought through not only the sports elements, but the branding side of things too. Like that each one of them represents a different sport is really cool. Because that's something that the original rings try to do too, is like bringing it all together and each representing something different. So that's quite nice. Because what a hot back summer will look like is going to be different for everyone. And some people may be very excited to lick one another, and other people just want to hump the blue guy. You know?
Yeah. Because I think what was that?
The red ring is super aggressive.
Very aggressive.
Yeah, I know. Like, because originally his mouth was doing something else, and the tongue hasn't quite worked. Because I was kind of like wanted to make one, like I said, the ass grabbing, but there tended to be a lot of ass grabbing at first. I was like, no, I got to change this. But yeah, and then I was like, oh, okay, I'll change the breathing to licking, and yeah. But I think the blue guy looks like really nefarious, and his bottom arm does not look like an arm. It looks bad.
It's a low grab.
Yeah, it's a low grab, or it's something else.
Well, it looks like also in this, like, it might be that at one point in the party everyone will be fine, because the lick me guy and the I will lick you person will eventually hook up, and they'll both get exactly what they're looking for.
Yeah.
And they're advertising it, so it'll be much easier for them to find that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and blue will get sent home. You know, there's always
blue. I might also just want to be on the outside. They just just want to sit out there and cuddle and hang out.
Yeah,
might
someone always gets tested and gets sent home, and that's going to be blue.
That too, sure, yeah. Someone's got to go home first.
Tested and sent back in the game. Like, that's what's going to happen here.
Ryan Osmosis in the chat said, I promote this being used for the next Olympics as the official logo. And then they said,
thank you.
And then they said, tag yourself. I'm yellow. Well, this is amazing, Lazy Swan. We're going to bring in the best artists in the world first, and then we'll bring you all back, and Greg will give his thoughts.
No worries.
All right. Next up, the best artist in the world, Slaney Rose Jordan, Lady on the Rock. How
I like that title.
Best artist in the world?
It feels okay, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, it's it's not a bad title. It's I don't know. How did this challenge? How did you fare in this challenge, knowing that you had to defend your title as best artist in the world?
Yeah, I was nervous for sure at first, but I actually feel pretty good about it. I'm a huge fan of the Olympics, and I feel like I'm a candidate for hot vax summer. Okay, I'm single, vaxxed, ready to mingle, and so a track event kind of spoke to me, and I kind of see it. Once it's all kind of together, everyone's kind of passing a baton between your events, right? There are some double entendres here, but she's running her race, right? And then she's on her track. She meets a longboard dude, a guy, hot longboard guy in Williamsburg, I'm sure. You know, they continue in the event. Things get heated. They spend some time during the summer there, you know, and inevitably and potentially he loses his board to her. Like, you know, that's just, and so the protest is protect your board, not your heart, because your board's your number one man. So it can play to both female and male competitors, or, you know, however you identify. And you know, we're all gonna just do some serious damage to each other this summer. But here she is taking the board. See ya. And then, you know, it kind of just all starts again.
Slaney, something that I noticed that you've just gotten better and better at is, like, other than art in general, but like you incorporate the text and like almost as like a catchphrase or as just like a tagline, so well. And this is this is no exception.
Oh, thanks. Awesome. Well, also like protest signs. I really like this. Really, all kind of there were elements that I really liked molding it all together with, like, and I got to bring on my Magnum. Yeah, I'm riding those fumes, baby.
Again, double entendre everything.
Right.
Yeah, I really like. There was some artist who said once that every artwork I do is a self-portrait. So I like how you brought that in there.
I won't screw any longboardist over. I won't take their longboard. I have a heart. Okay.
Yeah, I like the illustrative quality. I like the little narrative that goes around. And then when the swerve came in there, you were able to work it in there really well. Like it looks intentional. So I think you have a strong showing here.
Thank you.
I also like that you've highlighted something that's become quite popular in the Olympics in the last couple of years, which is like is the personal story. Like, and it's not just the sport. Like, you have to know the person's backstory and the struggle that they've had and what they might gain from this single race and why this single race is so important. So here we do, like, it's not just about the sport or the Olympics as a whole. Like, we're getting to know this person and their journey in hot back summer, which is nice.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
So now we've had all three. I've put a poll in the chat to see who the chat feels should take home the gold this evening. In the meantime, I'm going to bring everyone back out. And Gregg, you can let us know what your overall thoughts are on each piece.
Oh man, yeah.
Can you put them back up again?
Yeah. I'm getting them all back.
I don't like being a judge. Yeah, I'm looking to my side, not because there's something more interesting going on. I have my phone set up, and I'm scrolling back through. This is tough. You all did amazing, and I hate when somebody says that to me in a competition. So I'm going to say it anyway. But in particular, I think each one is very unique, which makes it tougher to decide one. I wanted to throw something out there open-ended and really see the creative juices flow. No double entendre intended. And it happened. So it was really cool. So the highlights for me, the ring people, I think it's immediately captivating and draws you in. I do think it immediately reads as a poster, a logo, and then like Mark said, it has all these layers to it. So you get rewarded when you start exploring it. The last one we saw that has that narrative, I do like the personal story, and the words really draw me. The slogan is cool and interesting and makes me want to pay attention to it more. And then the big human beer pong, or ultimate beer pong as a sport, yeah, that's captivating too in a totally different way, and looks like a coach's plan for what's going to happen. but then has, super amounts of details in it as well. So this is the toughest thing I've ever had to do. Who are your favorites? The other hosts here.
Yeah. I mean, Silent Scooby came out guns blazing. I mean, made an actual poster, like an actual, physical protest poster. But the concept behind human beer pong was so well thought out, and visually it tells that story. Scares birds. But yeah, and then Lazy Swan came out with the. I mean, I love the incorporation of the Olympic rings and just how just personalized it all became, and it like a story was birthed out of this just really just basic foundational concept of the Olympics. And Slaney's protect your board, not your heart. Like there's just Mike always makes fun of me for that. That's very true in this scenario. I always say this. There's a lot going on in this one. There's so many little mini sort of stories and characters within it that I could really get lost in. So yeah, I mean, I think it's I do not envy your decision, Greg.
No.
And before I hand that off to Aubrey really quick, the poll is coming in strong. A lot of Silent Squee fans out there. Silent Squee has 65% of the vote. Lazy Swan has 24%, and Lady in the Rock has 12%. But, the opinion that decides the winner, obviously, is Greg's. But Aubrey, what are your thoughts?
Well, if I think about it as someone who also watches the show and has been participating, I'm excited with fresh art. I'm excited to see some new artists step into the stream. So I would be tempted to keep some of those competitors around just to see what they might do next week. And to maybe give the best artists in the world a break. But that's not really the reason to win in this week. I'm aware of that. I'm aware of oh, wow, this is something new. And I also am aware that when I've been on it, I'm like, oh, it's a lot of work to be the best artist. So I'm just I'm thinking of this, the zooming outside of it. But thinking about the challenge as a standalone, I do recognize that human beer pong meets the criteria the most because it is an Olympic sport. It is a protest against something. As where Protect Your Heart is more of motivational message or a book that I would read, and a book that I would read during my hot back summer. And the other one, the rings are something that gave us something we didn't ask for because maybe we didn't know that we needed it. There was something that was really nice about what you've given us because it was not only the medium that you use with it looks like liquid chalk paint, or it was those the name that I've already forgotten, Proco paint.
It's just chalk.
Oh, okay. Well, it was really cool to see that and how vivid that creates this little world. And it was one that looked at the Olympics as a whole, which I thought was quite well thought out. That you get to bring in all the different elements. And I do like the personal story a lot. I think that's really nice. But yeah, if I'm going to go if I was having to rule it out, I would say that human beer pong is it ticks all the boxes. So I want to give you credit for that because that's also sometimes it's hard to actually meet the prompt all the way when you have that much time to really try to fit it in. But I feel like you did that, especially by sticking it on the sign. So I wanted to give you, that. Those are all the thoughts.
Well said. So, Greg, this is, it really, all of those, all that said, it comes down to your gut, as most art.
All of that is true. I agree with all of that. And I'm going to come down to my gut, and my gut says, in these Olympics, Art Smackdown, Australia takes the gold.
Australia takes the gold. Lazy Swan.
Oh my God, that's a.
And then two ties for silver. We're gonna have 2 silver, bronze.
We just crowd onto the second platform.
Yes, and it's not just because the silvers can get Xanax easily. but I was pretty impressed. And with the translation, I mean, with the translation with some of the stuff we were throwing at you, you held your own.
I've heard of like White Boy Summer being talked about, but that's I think that's not a great thing. Is that right?
Lady on the Rock is busy. She needs some time to herself next Monday. So,
I'm gonna be here anyway.
Yeah,
But
nice.
without that, now you're gonna have the chill week where you're just gonna do it for fun from home,
exactly.
or earn your way back in.
But yeah, I mean,
Wow.
it was a super, super tough call. And if it's any consolation, I mean, if you lose, eventually you get to be asked to be a judge.
Very true.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, Lazy Swan.
Thank
You're obviously you're best artist in the world. At
That's
least for the
pretty-
next week.
Yeah, I've often been told I'm pretty shit, so that's good.
What?
Well, we're very
them.
glad you're here then.
I will fight them.
Thank you.
But yeah, all right. So in the meantime, everyone stick around. We're gonna bring in the audience submissions, which are always so surprisingly incredible. And we'll go through those, and then that'll be the show. So first one we have coming in is from Ryan Osmosis.
What is the hashtag? Stand with.
This is still learning how to draw on my phone. I would joke that our national skateboarding team must have switched to CBD, but they're all so young. Of course, they're straight edge.
Yeah.
Stand.
What is the hashtag?
Oh,
I can't read it.
stand with the runner who's not being allowed to run because she had weed in her system. Stand with her. Yeah.
Shikari.
Yeah, Shikari.
I love that this all you need to turn into a protest now is a hashtag. Pretty much. Find the right phrase, put a hashtag in front of it, and it will spread.
I love that it says "vaxxed" on the skateboard. That's pretty dope. It's a pretty nice detail.
Too.
Yeah, the colors are popping.
Yeah.
Next up is Squeak Watch. Squeak Watch. Yeah. Say no to hard seltzer.
So in this case, hard seltzer has won first prize, and we don't like that. Am I right?
Good interpretation.
Yeah, I mean, White Claw has been, and White Claw will again be the drink of the summer.
What is White Claw? I hear it on every podcast. What is White Claw?
I don't know.
It's a boozy seltzer.
It's a yeah,
hard seltzer.
yeah, it's a hard yeah.
Okay,
exactly.
just like a what we would call a girly drink, is it? Just like
Yeah.
easy to drink.
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
you can
and
get in a can.
Wow.
from,
Yeah.
from my
Hydrating.
experience in Australia,
Those are
you
great.
guys have had canned cocktails for a long time.
Yeah, that's true.
Canned cocktails
Absolutely.
have really only become a thing here over the last few years.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And they
like-
had to
That's
kind of
actually-
move from soda over. So that's why
Yeah.
the seltzer is a natural
Because
fit.
we had that was the teen thing, was to sneak it in. Like I watched my kids walk out to parties with their backpack just like a brick because it was all the cans.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Silent Squeak just
Alright,
added, no law when you're drinking the claw, which is absolutely true. Next up is from Crowbot.
Oh my.
Crowbot went for it. This is... yeah.
Something about the expressions on their face is so familiar. It's like from a children's book. What children's book? Is it Everybody Poops? Does this look like Everybody Poops illustration?
Oh,
that's
yeah,
great.
totally.
Everybody poops. It looks exactly
I love that. That's so
Wow.
Oh my god, yes.
I love it.
Man, yeah, Crowbot took a big swing with this one.
Yeah.
Crowbot.
That's great.
I
The
want to see,
expressions on
I
their
wanna see
face
that
seem
one on
accurate.
a shirt. Come on, Redbubble.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. I love that.
Wow. And the crowd goes wild.
Yeah.
But
How do you
imagine
win?
Yeah, and if you miss the pain, like
Yeah, I mean, this could go.
yeah.
It's more about how many different ways you could lose this.
Yeah.
Yes.
More than a
That could
white
go
claw
badly.
for that.
That is a pole vault for sure.
Hmm.
This one's from Filson Schmilson, and protest partying is a subject. The original concept was a subsection of the Hot Vax games, which is managing your feelings while relearning your limits. But instead, I figure, fuck Hot Vax Summer. Solitude, babies. Get comfortable. You don't gotta look good for anybody else, Bubula. Stay inside. Be your own best friend.
Yeah. It's good.
Kind of love it. I keep picturing the thought process that led to this because, yeah, he was starting this whole guy before the squirrel came.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, it looks like he's also wearing a jersey under that jacket.
Yeah.
He's in uniform. Whatever this is, he's suited up for it.
But no pants. So,
No, that's not the official uniform for a party at home party.
I also love that. I feel like Phil's been using a lot of like mixed media. I don't know if it's mixed media, but he's been like drawing and then also using like Photoshop and like sort of
Yeah.
and After Effects, like layering in stuff. It's
I
really
like
really
that a
cool.
lot.
Yeah. Oh, he says the deep V shirt is my best friend in the summer.
No,
Phil's always got
it
a
also
little-
looks like
a
a
little-
soccer jersey almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's also got a little bit of hair coming out, which I find arousing.
No man's
What I really like about this is that it is a protest against the Olympics as well, or like against hot back summer, which we haven't really seen in the same way.
Yes.
It's basically someone saying like, you guys do that. I'm gonna do the sport of staying safe at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
counter hotbacks culture.
Mhm.
So this is some VR from Bad Example. I want to start it over so everyone can get a sense of what it is.
Well,
God hates lads. Mud wrestling is a sin. Oh, okay. So it's full on mud wrestling.
and then there are protests against the mud wrestling
Right.
happening outside of it.
God.
Just a couple of bros doing some Greco-Roman mud wrestling each other out of boredom. I just the details in his VR art has just gotten, it's just like exponential. I feel like this is. I'm always amazed at the amount of detail that he's got in these things.
Well, and I've played with his VR setup, and it's literally just like 2 paddles that he's doing all of that with.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible. Why is this? Okay, there we go. All right. The next one is. Come on. There we go. All right. Next one we got is from Schwarzenmerk. Coming, sending these in from work. So I guess Schwarzenmerk's schedule has been a little intense the past few weeks. I haven't seen him on the show in a while, and normally he does digital art. This time he's just doing with what he's got at work, which I think is pretty baller.
That's great.
Where are you? Where's his email? Oh, here we go. All right, so no tablet or raid for me tonight. As you can see, I'm at work. They need a closer, but I got here several hours early to do all my work so I could catch this and support Squee. Don't worry, folks. My boss is cool with it. Anyways, I had no idea what I was doing here. I made some messed up competition where a vaccinator marathons through a crowd screaming the shot song while pumping an air horn in a scrub top, surf shots, and flip-flops. And of course, the recommended face gear of the face shield and mask combination with sunglasses. Maybe I'm in just work mode, but that's what I came up with. I love the sort of like stoic reactions of the folks looking on. Like like almost as if like they were expecting something completely different, and they're just nonplussed with what they're seeing.
Yeah.
The guy in the middle is ghostly,
Yeah.
haunted by this.
Well, and you can see sticking out of their arm, the first two already have the needle in their arm. So they've already
he's
been
hit them. Oh, that could be why
and
they have those expressions.
Yeah, and then he's
He's
gonna
next.
hit the girl next with that vax.
Oh, nice. Okay. Marathon vaccinations. Okay, now I got it.
That's frightening.
Yeah.
That's kind of scary. Someone running through a crowd with a needle.
It's going pop, pop. Yeah.
Individual ones.
When I got my my shots, I went through a drive-through vaccination site, which is like set up at Oakland Coliseum. So it's as if you're going to like, going through security before a big sports game, but instead you're in a line of cars. And like, but that's still like we stopped. We paused. You need to at least pause. It wasn't a slow drive by when they shot me. We kept driving. Yeah, you need at least a moment.
Yeah, our vax rollout is terrible. I think still only people just under 40 can get it. Like our Prime Minister didn't want
Under
to
40?
order. Yeah. Like only if you're in your 30s, you can't really get the vax yet.
Whoa.
Oh, so everyone over 40.
So it started as
Okay.
like under 70s, and then it was 60s, and then 50s. And yeah, like if you're like in the 40s, if you're in your 30s, you can't. It's shit. It's because all the other countries like pre-ordered from here, there, and everywhere. Yeah. And we did in Australia and went, we can do it ourselves. And
Even if you're like a frontline worker?
Most frontline workers should, but even the other day, somebody who was working at like an old people's home didn't have it, got sick. So then the old people, it's just the whole thing's just...
That's really fun.
Like we did so well to keep it down, and we have kept it down, the numbers, but just the vax rollout is shit. It's really shit. So literally we have to keep like going, oh, stop, everyone go home, stay there for 5 days. We're still wearing masks everywhere. Yeah, so yeah, it's pretty shit. I love this.
Well, this one is from Feral HW. It's called Asterpiece. I have a new medium tonight. It's a weird scratch-off pad that I got for Christmas. I just found it and wanted to use it. So when I think of hot vax summer, I just think of hot babes in bikinis. They're training for the Winter Olympics because you have to work year-round to get it. Like Brittany said, you gotta work, bitch. We have skiing, bobsled, and smoking fucking pot represented. I had already drawn the hot babe with a bong before the compromise. In 2 years, smoking weed is going to be an Olympic sport anyway. The Olympics are racist as fuck. Their belly buttons spell out 666, and there's pot leaves and upside down crosses among the snowflakes. Yep.
Yeah. I love that pad, like the old school kid pads. I remember getting those. They're good.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I love it.
I like they have both drawn and written snow.
Yes.
All over the page. Snow.
It looks super celebrational too, like with the what would be stars, but like you said, if you look, they're the leaves, and yeah, I love it. It's good.
George Harrison showed up just to see this one.
Oh, nice.
Got some cat content. But yeah, this one's gorgeous. I really, really love it. We have a couple more. Yes, sir. Okay.
Aww.
He started doing this when like I'm working the computer. I'll just like feel this nudge on my shoulder, just his nose, just like poking my elbow. Yeah. All right. Chuberg. We got another sweet truck. And HVS is a local Olympic sport. Eat 15 hot dogs, scooter through a busy area, chug a bunch of White Claws, go home and try and cook a frozen pizza without falling asleep, all while not texting your ex. and this local church van rolling through town is cautioning against it. Unfortunately, the artist painting the van was raptured in the middle of the project.
Oh yeah, this is very Mercury retrograde.
Yeah.
I love the more like hot mess bummer.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you think people will get really sick again this summer?
If they eat all of that, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I have, and I have some friends who, as soon as they went back out there, they just got colds. Yes. We were finding that we have been protecting ourselves this last year, so we haven't had those little nuisances.
Mm-hmm.
So still wash your hands, please.
All right.
You can lick people.
But yeah, if we were embracing this interpretation of hotback summer, I think we'd all get very sick. Yeah.
All right, we got 2 more left. This one is from Frankenbabe. A still frame from NBC's coverage of the games. Hotvax is a decathlon-style event with many different activities involved. Small talk is the first event, and many athletes find it to be the most difficult of all the events. Hookup generates the most points. Please note Canada's disapproval of the games, protesting on camera, and the U.S. utilizing their technique of looking to biased authority figures to get them out of frustrating situations.
Cute.
Seriously, why are we here? Oh, this is so
Poor
great. And we got one more coming, and it is Audio Gabriel. This one
Balls.
is. Oh, okay. Oh wait, wrong one. Okay. Safe disco discus. Don't get your dope shots in the balls.
Oh wow.
Doping is for
Is there a
dopers.
Band-Aid tattoo?
Yes.
Dicks in your dick.
Gold medal COVID balls.
That's fan-fucking-tastic. No wonder why. Like, he sent it 3 times. He's like, no, sorry, this was the wrong one. This is the right one. Like, this is definitely the right one.
It's for dicks.
All right.
In track and field, that was my sport. That was discus and shot put. It's no easy sport. Well, none of them are easy if you want to be really good at it. But yeah, it's amazing to see people who do it really well. The discus, they just move so fast and still manage to know exactly where it's going.
Yeah,
Spin in circles.
I would just get dizzy and hurt someone. So
I did the first part. I got very dizzy. Luckily, I did not injure anyone in the process. I was better at shot put.
So, these are our 3 contestants. Lorian, which are your 3 favorites?
So I think my top 3 are the people working with the materials they had. So Ryan Osmosis said, first time drawing on my phone. That's the Vax on board and weed in my veins. The skateboarder, I really enjoyed that a lot. And then I believe it was Farrell with the scratch off rainbow and the training for the winter games.
Yes.
That's pretty fantastic. I love that. It looks like it could be on a t-shirt or like hung up in a really cool bar or something like that. And then I have to give compliments to Schwartz and Merck for actually getting something in from work.
Yeah.
And we normally see him have very professional looking time lapses from his iPad. And then this is what he gave us, probably with a sheet of printer paper and a pencil that was just sitting on the desk at work. I really enjoyed his. And it's also a little bit personal because he is in the medical field and he probably put himself in that, in the place of the person doing the vaccinations.
Totally. Yeah. And Slaney, what are your thoughts?
I love the disco disc thrower. That's really
Yes.
fun play on words. Yeah, I'm really drawn to people's phrases. So that, and then the hot mess bummer. That's I like that funny twist on it. Vax on the brain, weed in my veins. That's fun. And I'm just gonna say the fuck Nike protest is brilliant.
Absolutely.
Just like having that as the protest is fun.
And
Also it's hilarious. Hilarious picture.
and the best artist in the world, Lazy Swan.
Oh yeah. Okay. I think there's so many good elements of a lot of them, but I had to just get down to 3. So I love the retro feel of the scratch off. Black paper. I love the whole thing. It looks very celebrational, and yeah, like I think it. I just love the whole composition, because sometimes doing the whole page actually, and it doesn't always work, but I like that, some people are more forward and back, so I really like that. I can't go past golden balls just because I just think it's funny, and I like the actual composition of the person is very good, but yeah, I just love the golden COVID balls. And then I do think fuck Nike's amazing. I just the whole thing's great, but I just literally I'm quite tense, wondering if he's going to land it or break it.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah. So they're my 3.
Yeah. Aubrey, how about you?
Yeah, so I am partial to the guy who's partying on his own. I think that he's rocking the protest. He made the entire summer protest him saying he's going to do it his own way. That's rad. I think, and then on the flip side of that, I think it's also clever to incorporate the actual vaccination as part of the event where someone is getting the shots. And while I don't want someone running through with needles, if it was an Olympic sport, and I trust that it would be like monitored and moderated, done safely with like every, sterile things, and people who know how to run with needles, sure, I could see that becoming an interesting sport. But yeah, fuck Nike is definitely the one that stands out, because it seems, title and image seems like a still frame from Pornhub that I would click on just because I'm too afraid to actually know what happens. I'm like, oh, I don't know. Where does this go? I don't know if I want to know where this goes, but I would click on it probably. And it's something, especially because the look on their face is one of like determination and practice.
Yes.
Which I appreciate, that they can tell that this is one that they've trained for this moment. And yeah, and if like I have to just hope that they're not wearing, well, I don't know if they would be wearing Nike shoes or not be wearing Nike shoes.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know which would be more protest. Yeah, I guess I'm curious. Artists, are they wearing Nike shoes in this?
I think it's really just like about
they are
what's his
They're
name?
currently. Okay, I'm just curious.
Yeah.
So they're wearing Nike shoes.
Oh yeah.
And saying fuck Nike as part of this protest. Thank you for
Well, because
clarifying.
it's the what's his name?
Lil
The football
Nas
player.
X.
No,
Oh,
the
no,
football player
Uh,
who was kneeling before games. Oh my
Oh,
gosh. I can't-
Kaepernick.
Yes, Colin
yeah.
Kaepernick. Yeah. Because didn't his Nike sponsorship got removed because he was
probably.
protesting?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, I agree. So my 3 favorites. Schwarzenwerk's for sure. There's definitely a personal element to it for sure, and there's just so much detail in it, and just the fact that he was able to do it just with whatever he had lying around. Feral HW's the colors and just the composition of it is just so like aesthetically pleasing, and it's just so it's such a cool medium. And yeah, an Audio Gabriel's Disco Discus. And I mean, and as like just an honorable mention, because I can't stop thinking about whether that dude is gonna stick the landing in the fuck Nike one. But yeah. I mean, these, and Filson's too. I mean, like they just like this, like the colors pop so much in the, you know, it's still safer to party alone. And I love what he's doing with just his with the different layers and just, I mean, yeah, I think I love Filson. I love what you're doing. But yeah, so what we're gonna do at this point, Gregg is gonna give me off camera his top 5. And then on Thursday, we will. What are you doing? On Thursday, I will. There's no. Sir?
Yes.
Sir?
George.
Senor. There's no casual Thursday this week. So taking a couple of weeks to get that back up and restarted. But I will. But I will on Thursday announce who the audience winner is. But it's gonna be a tough decision, I'm sure. Are you back? Where are you? Okay. Well, he's determined.
He's having a hot back summer.
He's having a hot back summer. He's got so much business. You have a lot of business. What's your deal? All right. Well, we've taken up enough of the audience of everyone's time. Thank you so much for the artists for making such amazing art. Thank you, Gregg, for coming on and just, you know, reclaiming Art Smackdown for yourself. And Ob, thank you so much for co-hosting and wearing the delightful fucking bow tie. And to everyone else, who should we? I'm gonna find someone to raid. No, I can't do that. Yeah. Anyone have someone that we should raid? Drop it in the chat, and I will raid them. In the meantime, everyone have a wonderful July 5th, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks everyone.
Thank you.
Doodles.
Thank you.